Hey guys, what's going on?
Hello.
For some of you who do not know who we are, I am the Pop Punk Comic Geek.
Which I will give a link to his site. And I am Diane Tran from Scottish 140.
And this is our review of The Amazing Spider-Man. We finally saw it today.
Yay! Finally. Let's talk about, I do very long reviews. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, go for it. No, it's fine.
Tell me how you were introduced to Spider-Man.
I was introduced to Spider-Man at a very young age. I watched the early 90s cartoon, and when I saw it, I was like, this is exactly me. I am so geeky. Why is this happening? So, and then I eventually started reading the comics when I was about 10 or 11, and I loved the source.
Wow, you're young.
I started early. So.
Alright. Well, let's see. I got into it actually through the 90s series. And although before that was the 70s animated series with the very famous theme song, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. And that's how I was introduced to it. And then eventually the 90s series came out, and that's when I started actually reading the comics, because I went into a big Marvel kick. By that point, due to X-Men, the animated series. I was into the Hulk series as well.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, the Lou Ferrigno one? Or
yes. Bill Bixby, yeah. And so I went into that huge Marvel kick, and the 90s series came out. So I started reading, and I stopped for a moment because I got back into Batman. And then
I think that's how everyone was for the longest time.
And then I went back to Marvel around late 90s, and just when everything was starting to go back to the weird Liefeld type of art, and started getting to good comic books back again. And then One More Day happened, and that completely turned me off to Spider-Man, sadly. And if you don't know what One More Day is, that's when Peter Parker, now married to Mary Jane, sells her soul to the devil in order to save Aunt May, who was already dying, and she didn't mind dying. So
I think she was content with dying.
She was content with dying. Let's save her life anyway. I'm going to sell my wife. Cool.
Yeah, awesome move.
Awesome move. Great power.
I have to ask you this. What are your thoughts on Miles Morales as the new Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe?
Miles Morales from
Ultimate Spider-Man, the new one that's going on.
I guess I have to talk about Spectacular first before I get to Ultimate.
Fair enough.
Because Spectacular got me back into Spider-Man. Not actually the Sam Raimi films, believe it or not. I watched them, but I never really went back to the comics after that. It was just okay series. I liked it. It did not age well, sadly. And then Spectacular Spider-Man came out, who was the head writer was Greg Weisman from Gargoyles.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So went back to that, and that was a great freaking series.
It was.
And the only reason why I watch Ultimate Spider-Man is because of Coulson.
Oh yeah. See,
that's it.
I think that's the only reason everyone was watching that.
Yeah. So.
I'm gonna sound so horrible for saying this. I'm not really a big fan of the cartoon for Ultimate Spider-Man, because Drake Parker, don't get me wrong, he is an awesome actor and he's a very talented musician, but Spider-Man, I don't think that's really the perfect role for him. And the direction that they're going with for that cartoon is...
It's very fourth wall breakage.
And you can't do that with him. That is a Deadpool
that's
right off the bat.
Yeah, it is. And really, the characters are pretty badly written, with the due exception of maybe like Thor and Loki, sort of. He was kind of stupid.
One thing I did not like how they brought Venom into the story at all for that.
That was stupid.
It made me want to cry just a little bit.
I did, but I loved the way they did in Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
That was brilliant. And they did changes by making Eddie Brock like his bro.
But I mean,
that's the emotion.
It was right there, and I love that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm really sad because we never got a third season, and that...
You know why, though?
because of
the Disney merger with Marvel,
Yep.
and they couldn't make any money off it.
Thanks a lot, Disney.
Yeah, so they canceled the series, and instead of continuing it, they went with Ultimate Spider-Man.
And honestly, in my opinion, they could have actually done more for I bet like season 3, they could have focused more on how Peter Parker could have been with Gwen, and then maybe he starts dating Mary Jane. I don't know.
But whatever the reason was, the thing is that second season, no matter what, left with cliffhanger, and that's the worst thing anybody can leave the ending of a series on.
Hands down,
it's just
so bad.
Yeah, and despite that, I really wanted to know what happened. I wanted to know what Norman Osborn was up to. I wanted to know what the villains were up to, and unfortunately, we never get to know that. And
we never will now.
Yeah, we never will.
All
know.
because of Disney.
But it's okay. Greg Weisman went to Young Justice, and it's okay.
Yes.
All you got.
Yeah.
And
you can't see my right hand over here. It's vanished. See, that's her right hand. But yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Now, how did you like the Sam Raimi film?
Ooh, tough one.
Let's go down the list. Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man 1, I liked how they did the origin of him, how he, gets bit by the spider, he becomes a wrestler to make money, how, Ben Parker gets shot, and how he goes after the killer, and then he slowly becomes Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really great touch. What I did not like about the first one was when they made the Green Goblin look
like a Power Ranger?
Pretty much. I mean,
you look like Santa's Happy Elf.
Yes.
With a giant family opera.
Also, I did not like Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane Parker. I think they could have found a different ginger to play that role.
She wasn't even ginger. She's not ginger.
I don't lie.
Yeah.
It's all lies.
But
the second one, I thought the second one.
Well, let me tell you my opinion. Okay. The first one is actually very much like the comic book, which, as a comic book fan, seems very, very cool because
there's not very many movies that do that.
No, there isn't. And for example, soon we will talk about the Amazing Spider-Man, which did not.
Please hold on tight for that.
Yeah, but they did not keep to the comic books, but they did well. Yeah. But one thing about it is it felt like a living comic book. It did. My problems is that Kristen Dunst, she can't act. I don't know what happened to her between then and An Interview with a Vampire, but for some reason she could act in Interview with a Vampire, and now she can't.
We will never know what happened to her.
And then I was recently watching Eternal Sunshine in Spotless Mind.
There we go.
And she did well in that. So I have no idea if it's the script or her.
There's something that does not blend well.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't blend well. And Tobey Maguire, he's too beefy for Spider-Man. He looked like someone he could play Robin, but he couldn't play Spider-Man really. But because he had the build.
Yeah, he had the build
of Nightwing.
For Nightwing. Yeah, exactly.
But he was just so big. His shoulders are so. Yeah, but you can't see it. They're big. But and it was just everything. And every time he cried, it looked like his face was melting.
It also looked like he was trying so hard not to laugh, just a little bit.
But also the relationship between Peter and Mary Jane, who, although I like the character Mary Jane in the comics, she was such a tease. I love you. I hate
you.
I love you. I
want to be with you. You don't love me at all.
Let me kiss you. Oh my God, I'm Spider-Man. I can't love you anymore. But that's how it is. William Dafoe as
he was a great Norman Osborn.
He was a great Norman Osborn. I think that if he had a better costume, he would have been
exactly if they actually made him look more like a goblin.
Yeah, instead of Santa's Happy Elf.
Yeah, I mean that would have been so much better.
Yeah, and I love J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah. I want to say it's J.K. Simmons, right?
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Okay, cool. I pronounced it right. Awesome.
J.K. Simmons, and he is.
He
can't
plays
see,
a great JJ.
I can't see anybody else's JJ.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, every time I read the comics now,
I hear that
his voice always pops in my head. I'm just like, yes.
Yes, I hear his voice, and it's the same with Green Goblin. I hear William Dafoe's voice.
Because
so
they're very iconic voices.
Yeah. Second film.
Second film, I thought it had its moments where it was kind of bad and then kind of good. I definitely liked how he kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? He kind of loses powers briefly.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, didn't quite like that.
it was okay for the most part, but there's that moment in the beginning, where he's kind of pretty much on his last end.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on, and I think that's kind of why he starts losing his powers.
Well, he was supposed to be really stressed and doubting himself. Apparently, that makes you lose your organic webbing.
Who would have thought?
I guess it makes him infinite.
I do like the guy who played. Doc Ock. He definitely did a good job.
Malona. So, I know his last name.
I cannot pronounce it.
I'm sorry. So, but I remember you from Temple of Doom. I think that was it. Or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I thought the way they kind of made him in the movie, I thought that was really a nice touch, and I liked it. And then I did like how they slowly started incorporating Harry's way of trying to get back at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then they kind of reveal Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing about that. I actually think the second film is superior to the first film.
Oh yeah, hands down.
I like the first film. Did not age well, but I still like it. Second film, I think it ages much better. Now, there are scenes in that which are so iconic now, like the train fight.
Yeah, the train fight.
You kind of wish that it was later in the film, because nothing topped that train fight.
Yeah, it was.
No matter what you did.
Yeah, it was that one scene where, if it was at the end, right before he fights Doc Ock, and it ends right there, that would have been awesome. But they kind of brought it towards.
It was 30 minutes into the beginning. That's when it happened, and
it's
I was just I really love this. I wonder what they're gonna do at the end.
It's a letdown.
Yeah, it's just it put your expectations so high that it just let you down. That was one of the big flaws of the second film. But one of the great things about Sam Raimi films, the villains are always. He has one of the greatest rogues gallery next to Batman, and the way they did Doc Ock is amazing. Actually, I have a Doc Ock poster over there, but you don't see it.
Yeah, it's somewhere in this general
direction.
This right over here. So.
Yeah, you can't see it. But
okay, so what did you think of the third movie? That face, I could just tell what you were thinking right now.
Okay, I liked a third of the movie. Does that count?
Okay. We'll
okay. Let's back up on the third movie. My problem with the third movie was the executives. The suits at the high point, the Hollywood studio. We want Venom.
Yes.
But Sam Raimi didn't want that. He wanted Sandman, which is much more classical character, and then you have Venom, which is the 90s character.
Yeah.
And, or at least early 90s character.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have the same wonderful motivation as everybody else's. Everything with Sandman I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, it was very.
His creation is so sad. His daughter, the entire plot with his daughter,
was just very captivating. It was very awesome.
And I wanted to know more, and then he just kind of disappears.
Yeah,
and then
it's one of those unanswered questions on whatever happens to him.
He just phases away, and then there's Venom. Oh, that's like Venom.
Okay, I gotta say this. I liked the fact that they brought Venom into the story, but I hated so many things about it.
The actor?
Yes, Topher Grace. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Topher, I love you. You're an awesome guy from That 70s Show. But as Eddie Brock, no, that was not.
You were just so Eddie Brock should be huge.
Yeah, it needs to be
you need
more
to be
of a like
Flash. You need to be like Flash.
Yeah.
Just,
I did not like how they designed the Venom symbiote.
he was always, his lips were out of sync.
Yes.
All the time.
It was out of sync, and also he was really scrawny. Now, if you remember the comics, Venom is a massive symbiote. Like he cannot be
Huge.
lanky, he cannot be small. He needs to be
He can barely go through a door. Of course,
Yeah.
that's Liefeld for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's Liefeld design for you, but
the thing I did not like the most about it was when they killed off Venom. Now, the moment you do that, you lose so many stories.
That's true.
Because you kill off Venom, he doesn't create Carnage. Well, technically, he doesn't create the symbiote that binds to Cletus Cassidy and
Well,
creates Carnage. And
the thing
so
is this, but is Carnage even interesting, really, compared to Venom? Carnage is such a one-note villain. Oh, I'm a serial killer. I kill people.
Oh yeah.
And I look red. So, and all this fleshy stuff. Ooh, gonna kill you. So, compared to Venom, he's just boring. And then Venom is such a one-note villain in himself too, or at least a two-note villain. And
pretty much, yeah.
And then you have other characters like Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Electro and Sandman, who had that beautiful thing.
Yeah, that beautiful moment.
Yeah, and of course everybody talks about in number 3 the emo Peter.
The emo Peter Parker, yes. But say what you will, he did have some awesome dance moves. He did.
Yeah, I didn't want to dance with him though.
Yeah. But I will say this: the one thing that I was really glad about in the third movie, they kept the scene with the church tower.
Yeah.
They kept that scene, and it was phenomenal.
It was beautiful. But I can't help it. Being an animator, I see all the flaws in the 3D. I can't help that. It's the same thing with all the other movies. It was cutting edge at the time. The 3D at the time.
Yeah, at the time it
was the mocapping and everything. It was never been done.
But I mean, with the way it is
before.
now, I think if they do a relaunch and have Venom now, it would look so much better.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Compared to the special effects and Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right. Right now, we're gonna go into a non-spoiler Amazing Spidey, and then we will warn you once we go into.
We will give you a stopping point to stop watching the video.
Yeah. Let's start it. Did you like it?
I honestly did like it. It was.
I loved it.
I had a lot of friends tell me, do not go see it. It was not that great. And I looked at them being like, why? And one of my friends said, it's not Tobey Maguire. And I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely going to see it now. That makes me want to see it all the time.
Yeah.
But I did like it. It was a really nice story. And everything about it was really cool.
I was actually not expecting how good this film was.
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting, there's, it's Spider-Man, they're going to make it grittier, and then all the stupid stuff will happen. You can't really make Spider-Man not as gritty as Batman.
Yeah,
and there's always that camp value. And what was surprising is that I didn't see that camp value here. Now, not that it doesn't happen when you have the dialogue. I will give major props to Andrew
Garfield, yes.
Garfield?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
Is it Garfield or Griffin?
Yeah, it's Garfield.
Garfield. Oh my God, you did fantastic.
He did an amazing job. The banter that he had was so great, and it was so clever. I loved it.
My favorite was probably Carthy.
Oh yeah, you found my weakness. It's small knives. Oh
yeah.
God, no.
And I also loved when he was like trying to get the car, and then he webs him, and then keeps on webbing him, and he's just slamming his head against the
it was really funny. I loved it. I think one of the things I liked was it was one of those origin stories where it actually showed him like assembling the costume and like how he was slowly becoming.
Well, the origin story for this, knowing if you've seen the first movie and if you've read the comics, they're very much alike in the Sam Raimi version. They're almost identical. It's right out of the movie.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
But this was not true with this. There were changes, but it didn't feel repetitive.
It
You
really
know,
did not.
a lot of people wonder about a reboot. You're going to see the same thing over again. Oh, great power comes great responsibility. Ben dies. Oh, I'm going to be Spider-Man.
Oh, God.
It's the same thing. And with the Spider-Man comics, they do this every
time, yeah.
Every time they talk about
it. Never
it.
fails.
And they always repeat it. No matter how many times you've seen it and know the story, they'll repeat it. So, this was different.
Yeah.
And
it was a different take on the origin.
it was a very different take. And, I mean, it's not like the basics weren't there. They were. I was actually surprised they didn't have any of the wrestling in here. But they didn't need it.
Yeah, they really did not need to.
No, he does, like, fall in, like, a new Nacho Libre.
Yeah, he falls into a Lucha Libre wrestling match.
When he just looks at a poster and sees kind of like the Spider-Man mob. Yeah. He's like, ooh, I can be Spider-Man.
I have an idea.
I has cheeseburger. So,
I do like how they actually gave him web shooters instead of actually organic webbing.
Now, do you prefer that? I actually prefer organic.
See, I don't know. See, I grew up with the web shooters, so that's my honest opinion. Like how he should. I mean, you know, granted he can climb walls. He does have his spider sense.
Yeah.
That should be, you know, what he has. But the organic webbing, I'm not used to it.
I don't know, but my thing is that the organic webbing never was a problem with me. It made sense with the properties. Okay, yeah, if he was an actual spider, you would stick it out of his anus. But no. I always thought it was kind of logical that he would have, if he uses these weapons, shouldn't they be always on his person, no matter what? And one of the things that I've always hated about the robotic webbing is that they always ran out.
Yeah.
Always ran out in every issue, and
I think there's actually one issue where his webbing runs out and he gets in a cab and the cab driver's all like, "Can you make webs?" And he's just like, "Shut up and drive."
And the 90s series is the same thing. They always did the I ran out of webbing, and even though he had a utility belt full of them, so
he would have to
he would have to do something else. And it was such a cop out. Even in the comics, that why don't you just have organic? Now, did I have a problem with the mechanical ones here? No, actually I didn't. Just because I prefer the organic doesn't mean that I hate it here, because they didn't do the cop out I ran out of webbing. So
I think he kept them on at all times.
They kept them on all times. It does get underwater and dysfunctions. Makes sense. And there's another time where they were crushed. Makes sense. So there was no, oh no, I ran out. So.
You know what I just realized?
What?
We are kind of giving away some spoilers here.
Well, I mean, it's not that much.
Well, I mean, not
that much. But, well, you know, we're not detailing you everything. But, you know, there's minor spoilers. Yeah. But Andrew
Garfield, he really did a good job. And
he was a wonderful actor. He did everything. And what I miss about Spider-Man is the humor.
Yeah, that was the one thing that you need to have with Peter Parker, because he's such a smartass to a lot of his enemies.
Yes, and he was just like, there was a crotch joke.
Yes.
Which was for a PG-13 film. I got it.
A very strong PG-13 film, by the way.
Yeah, I always should have been PG-16. But just like Dark Knight, do not believe that should be PG-13.
Oh, yeah. If you guys watch that, it'd be like, this is such a PG-13.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna... No, I would never let my 13-year-old person watch Dark Knight.
I wouldn't let my 13-year-old anything watch that.
Now, would you let them see Amazing Spider-Man?
Possibly, maybe.
Yeah. I would do that. Maybe 14. So.
I will say this though. A lot of people have been asking me this all week. How do I feel about the Lizard? It's okay. His face kind of reminds me of one of the Goopa Troopers from the old Mario Brothers movie.
Was that the little tiny head?
Yes, with the tiny... Except the head is actually normal size.
Do that thing in the elevator?
Yes, with their dance.
Dancing in the elevator.
It kind of reminds me of that.
No, it reminded me of Killer Croc. What he originally looked like.
Oh, yeah.
In the comics, where he had like very little nose.
Yeah, little
And that
nose.
little, yeah.
And
those teeth.
the thing I don't get is because, like, I've played the Amazing Spider-Man game, and the way they have the lizard for that is there is a moment where he actually looks like the comic version, where he does have his snout, he wears a jacket.
He was really naked through most of the film.
He really was.
He was
He could not keep his clothes on to save his life.
And I really wanted, yeah, he had the lab coat on, but then it would always get ripped or shot off.
I mean, he should at least keep part of his clothing on.
He should at least have pants.
Yes.
So, but...
I mean, was it too much to ask just to give him a pair of pants?
Yeah, but apparently it was. So, apparently it was. Sure, Hulk stays on. The lizard does not.
Yeah. How does that work?
I don't know. Stretchable pants.
And I gotta say, Emma Stone, she did a really good job playing Gwen Stacy. That was.
And I'm not an Emma Stone fan.
I am. I have a huge monster crush on her.
No, I'm not.
I would cuddle with that girl and listen to Fall Out Boy.
But for me, Emma Stone, I think her acting is very hit and miss for me. And yeah, she's pretty, but it's just like talent-wise, it's hit and miss. But here, she was probably my favorite character. I was pleasantly surprised.
And I do like how they incorporated the relationship between Gwen and Peter.
It starts very awkward. And
yeah, it's very awkward.
And it proceeds.
And it kind of goes up and down.
Grows. And it wasn't cock-teasing like with Mary Jane.
Oh yeah, because with Mary Jane there was lots of cock-teasing with her.
She's like she never could make up her goddamn mind. And you just... like, I love you, I hate you. That doesn't happen here, and it's a relief.
Yeah, they actually kept the relationship more realistic.
Yeah.
In this movie than anything, so.
And it was extremely genuine. It was you really felt the chemistry, and you could see it like just bubble. And
I also do like how they had Martin Sheen and Sally Field play Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Who I absolutely
Both
love.
of them are like. They're my favorite actor and actress of all time.
And Martin Sheen was brilliant. Oh, I could not.
He was.
I could not get over how wonderful. He hasn't done a film in
forever.
15 years, something like that.
Wow.
So he was retired for such a long time.
And he came back, and this was just so awesome.
This is if he died yesterday, this is brilliant.
It would have been.
It would have been immortalized for me.
Yes.
So, but I don't want him to die. But
yes, we do not want you to die, Martin Sheen.
Because we want you
to stay alive as long as you can.
As long as you do these.
If you die, we'll revive you in the Lazarus pits. You'll go crazy for a little bit, but you'll be fine. And then you can continue acting in the Amazing Spider-Man series. Sally Field, this has got to be my favorite Aunt May. I know, like she does play the overbearing parent for like most of it, but it makes sense. It does because she loses Ben, and she doesn't want to lose Peter in the same manner. And I think the way the direction she went with this character was just phenomenal and spot on, and I loved it. I didn't see her as overbearing. I saw her as very nervous and strict, and she was getting she was just like she was kind of grabby. Kinda, but I get it because her husband died, and in the beginning she always defended him. Yeah, like she always defended him. She always stood up for Peter, and then after Ben died, she gets really nervous and cautious. Yeah, and started worrying about everything. Oh, I think that was a text message. No, that was. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's okay. You're good. You're good. You're fine. I'm sorry. Sit me down. But I thought it was great. What do you think about the lizard? I don't remember the actor's name. Your accent. I've seen you before. I want to say Rhys Ifans. I can't pronounce it. I want to say that's how you pronounce it. Well, we'll put it in the link below, the description, so you can check it out. I guess. Well, just look it up on IMDb. So and see if you can pronounce it. Yeah. But I want to say it's Rhys Ifans just a little bit. It's like Ray Raz. He was a really awesome Doc Connors. Mm-hmm. The direction he went with also was a really good choice for him. Did you believe it though? I didn't believe him for most of it. You're kind of like your motivations are weird. I felt that his motivations were a little
strange because they talk about him at the beginning with Robert Parker. They were partners.
Richard Parker.
Richard, is it
Yes,
Robert?
It's Richard.
Richard, and they talk about how they were partners, and Connors couldn't get certain things, and experiments never worked, and
then
then
Richard Parker comes in and he's all like, do this, and it was brilliant. But then like
when
he leaves,
what's funny is here's what I got. I got that Connors was actually a very immoral doctor in the beginning, and then when Richard dies, he becomes a very moral doctor.
and then when Peter kind of steps in, his morals kind of go right back to what they were.
Well, yeah, but he's trying. He's like, we're doing experimenting, but we won't do it on you. Whoa.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not unethical. We have to do the proper procedure. We start with shifts. We start with, all this. And I totally get that. And I totally get it because he wants to be very cautious. He's still so new that you want to take your time.
And it's still something very
And then he was just
unpredictable.
pushed to the edge. And then
he does it on himself.
And he does it on himself.
I gotta say that the scene when he does it on himself and he does get his limb back, I thought that was a really interesting.
I cried in that scene.
I know, because it was the same thing with the Sandman. Like it was a very like sentimental moment where like he feels like he triumphed over this, but then it's that moment where like he realizes, I think I did something
bad.
But he doesn't. He just has no remorse for it. Like, cause he's.
Well, at first he does. First he feels very guilty.
But then, after doing more tests on him, like he realizes like this is what needs to be done. And
pretty much. And I like the fact that he was like, I'm gonna do it on myself, and then madness kind of takes over. He's like, I'm gonna do it everyone.
What I do like is like they went with the comic
yeah.
direction on that, where he wants to turn everyone into lizards.
Yeah, but he wasn't in his right state of mind. So
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, and you believed it. You believed it.
I
he was
did.
Going over the edge, and he was a very believable actor. I thought he did a great job. My problem was the design of Lizard.
Yeah.
It's nothing from the neck down. I have no problem with it.
Just
the head.
Yeah.
Just the head. I don't mind that he falls. I love the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. It's the Icky the Killer.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They made him
mouth.
look more human than Lizard.
I wanted a snout.
Yes, I think every Spidey fan in America wanted the snout.
I just want something.
Why couldn't you give it to us?
Here's the thing. One of the best snout reveals is American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh yeah.
Or in London, excuse me.
Yes,
American Werewolf in London. And you just see how painful when that snout comes out.
Just comes out.
It comes out, and you're like, oh, but it looks. You can do it now.
Yeah, see, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I saw that scene in American Werewolf in London, my nose just like tingled for like a good God knows how many hours. I was like, oh God, I'm sorry, nose. I'm not letting that happen ever again.
And it was just like the nose coming out, and the lips, like the lips were being broken.
Yes.
And it was just the chin was coming out. It's just breaking the chin. It was just crazy. And you could do that, and they didn't.
Yeah, they could have easily done that. It would have probably taken like a couple of days to master, but you know, you would have been able to do it.
You could have been able to do it, and that was probably my biggest complaint. It was just a snout, and I tried my very best. Everybody said that before I watched the film, and then I watched the film and I'm like, okay, don't complain about a snout. Don't complain about a snout.
And we got to complain about the snout.
And we were just like, it really does need a snout. So, but that's kind of how it happened. Here's a small thing. If you watch the film, stay after the cast credits. There is a secret scene.
Yes.
And I didn't know about it.
I did.
He did, apparently.
Because for some reason Marvel has this very odd fetish that they like to do where towards like the credit, like not the actual credits, but like just after the cast credits, they like to give you a little secret ending that kind of hints off to either a sequel,
or
just something just to give your hopes up.
Okay, well here's the thing. This is Sony. That Marvel does not own technically any rights to Spider-Man. film franchise, unfortunately, because they sold the rights back in the 60s,
Yeah,
70s.
just sit down a bit.
Yeah, same as Fox with the X-Men series and Fantastic Four series and Silver Surfer and all that jazz. But they're trying to get their franchises back.
Yeah, they're trying to get
and
them back.
They're willing to pay billions of dollars for it. But Sony,
which they can now because Disney now owns
it's Disney,
them.
yeah. But Sony will not let go of their property.
So.
They will milk every last penny they can before they would ever let go. Spider-Man, and same with the X-Men with Fox, and I think they just got Ghost Rider back to Marvel, and
so
thank God.
So hopefully, if they do a relaunch to Ghost Rider,
it will be better.
I hope so. And I swear to God, if they put Nicolas Cage back in that movie, I'm killing someone.
Same thing with the Punisher. Punisher's back to Marvel again. They finally had enough and just gave it to him, basically. Thank God. Thank God.
There's a lot of
David Hasselhoff. No. There's who owns Nintendo 64? Is it Fox?
I want to say Fox, yes.
I want to say Fox, yeah.
But I will say this. There was a rumor that I found recently that if they do a relaunch to the Fantastic Four, it's actually going to stay true to the comics, which means Doctor Doom, he's not going to be scarred, have like a metal face underneath his skin. It's actually going to be, they're going to stay true to that character, and they're going to these are just things that I've heard. And possible actors that they had for it was, I want to say it was Stephen Moyer was supposed to be Victor Von Doom. Which,
I would like something a little more classical, something more British.
I could see that, I don't know. But I'm pretty excited because, you know, they're with Marvel, they're in production for Iron Man 3, Thor 2, and they are writing a Black Panther story, so yes.
They have the rights to Black Panther?
Yeah.
I thought that was with X-Men.
No, Marvel's doing a Black Panther story.
Oh, very nice.
So, and
surprise.
And what I'm curious about is like who they're gonna have play the ruler of Wakanda himself. See, it could be anyone from, you know.
You know who I want?
Who?
I want the guy from Amistad. He's like Dijon. I can't pronounce your name because it's actually, you know, African. So, but he won an Oscar for his main role in Amistad, and he was also in Gladiator. He played the black slave.
Oh, that's what
and brilliant actor.
Definitely do that.
Brilliant actor.
But knowing Hollywood and their motives, they're probably going to go with Denzel Washington because what movie does not have Denzel Washington in it?
Denzel Washington's too old.
I know.
I like him.
He's a cool actor.
Yeah. He's too old though. If it was 10, 15 years ago, I could see it.
Yeah,
but
a little bit. I think just as a joke, I want to say this. They might put Tyrese Gibbs into it.
What?
Just as a joke.
Yeah, Tyrese. What? Say it again?
Tyrese Gibbs.
Nah.
Just as a joke.
Nah.
Not being serious with this one.
Sure.
I mean, you're a cool guy. I like some of your movies, but no. Sorry.
And if they were younger, I would love Tony Todd.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Tony Todd, that voice.
I think we're getting off topic.
anyway, going back to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, our tangent. We had like a huge tangent a couple hours ago. So
basically, I like the movie for.
How did you like Dennis Leary as Captain Stacy?
I think he did a really good job.
And I hate Dennis Leary. That's the weird thing.
And honestly, I like him.
He's
an asshole, but I like him.
He is an asshole. I've met him. He's an asshole. But he is an asshole. He's he's horrible.
There's no denying that.
But he was actually likable. He was an annoying, obnoxious person in this. He was actually very genuine, very emotional, very caring, compassionate person.
He was
unlike him completely.
he pretty much played the overprotective father who's a cop
Mhm.
role pretty well, and I thought that was awesome.
I honestly thought that he was Dennis Quaid for a second when I saw him.
Really?
Yeah, because the acting,
Oh,
it just
okay.
kind of came off as
Yeah.
very Dennis Quaid-ish.
Yeah.
But and then I saw the teeth and I went, that's Dennis Quaid. That's Dennis Quaid, man.
Yeah, I liked that. The movie was really great. I do like the scenes when like Peter was swinging through with his webs. They kind of went through like first person mode. With the
That
webs.
was like
that was
hurt.
really awesome.
That also hurt my eyes a little bit.
Aw.
It did. I'm sure it looked great in 3D.
It would have looked.
We didn't see 3D. We saw 2D.
Yeah,
So
I cannot see it in 3D because after seeing the movie in 3D, I tend to blink so much after that.
I tend to eat an entire bottle full of aspirin, so which is very bad for me and for everyone. So I think that's gonna be all for non-spoilers. Definitely recommend it. It's very good. It's well written, well
loved
acted.
it to death.
It's great.
Well, not to death, but
Now here's
it
the
was
thing.
pretty good.
We were asked this question by my friend. Which did you prefer, Avengers or maybe Spider-Man?
See, that is a really tough one because
I can't choose.
I really can't either.
can't.
It's something that cannot be done.
And soon that's going to be like Avengers, Amazing Spider-Man, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
So
So we have 3 really awesome movies this summer.
well, I hope that Rises is good. I hope it is.
Hopefully it lives up to the hype.
I hope it
because, I'm a big Tom Hardy fan.
I like Tom Hardy.
I like the design they have for Bane's mask.
I don't.
See, it kind of goes with that menacing tone, but...
I can't understand him. Even in the trailers, I can't understand him.
Yeah.
There's another. What? What was that?
And no, there's actually like a lot of parodies out there where someone's doing Bane and someone's doing Batman. And Batman's all like... It's all like... yeah.
And then I'm just waiting for Selena Kyle to go.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Anne Hathaway. I think she'll do an awesome job as Selena Kyle.
I don't know.
And
I haven't really seen her in drama very well. Not doing it well.
Yeah.
So my problem is that Selena Kyle is always very voluptuous. Anne Hathaway is a rod with a broken back and a giant head with scary eyes. So
I would still do things. I'm not gonna.
But
I think
I don't hate her as a person. I think as an actress she's not. She needs more acting lessons.
See, I think the top 2 movies I've seen her in after she branched away from Disney. I did like Love and Other Drugs when she was with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal out-acted him. Her. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, for most guys in America who've seen that movie,
That's such a guy movie.
it really is.
It is a
I think
guy movie.
every guy in America has seen that movie.
And I watched it once and I'm like,
That movie also made me have a crush on her as well, just a little bit.
And then there was Devil Wears Prada. I think that was the last film I saw her in.
I have not seen her in that one, but...
she was okay.
But then again, I think that one's more for
But again,
girls than anything.
well, yeah. And of course Meryl Streep, like, acts circles around
Oh,
her.
definitely.
Yeah, you can't beat Meryl Streep. Anyway, but...
We're not trying.
we're gonna go now into spoiler territory.
So, if you guys do not want to be spoiled and you want to see the movie and do not want to know what happens, stop watching the video.
You can mute us if you want.
You can fast forward to the end.
Yeah.
Where we start, being all like...
I don't think we're gonna stop spoiling until the end. I never do.
I never do. Either.
I never do. But that was the non-spoiler territory. There were some, but you can live with it. Yeah. But this is major spoiler territory.
Yes, we're gonna go to a major spoil. Okay. And if you want a shorter review, I'm also gonna do one later when I get home, which I'll advertise her channel, and and promote her.
I do long reviews.
She's awesome.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. No, just because my channel, since it's not really up there till I can start doing like 2-hour, 3-hour videos.
See, I always have. I I don't have little to say about anything.
See, me neither. But the thing is, with the way they limit YouTube now,
I can do it. You know how you can do it? You put your cell phone number in, and they'll email you a password, and they'll give you 2 hours unlimited.
thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's how it happens with mine.
Awesome.
So I don't have a 15-minute limit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do have a 15-minute limit for now. So if you want the shorter review when I get home, I'll definitely do that.
It was his idea to do video. I usually do audio.
Yeah.
So you can see my goofy faces now.
Not goofy.
It's goofy. It's goofy.
Anyway, like I said, we're gonna start the spoiler review right about now.
Okay, now, all right. The beginning of the Spider-Man, the origin.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna go through that.
Yeah. It starts off when Peter is a child living with his parents, and it's a very innocent moment for him. And there's a moment where he goes into his father's office, and he notices that it's a mess, and he goes to his father being like, something happened. His dad immediately panics, packs everything up as fast as he can, and takes him to live
has hiding places in his desk, apparently.
Yes. So, and takes him to live with Aunt May and
Uncle Ben.
And
they go away.
For God knows how long.
And they never come back.
They never reveal
and they never reveal why they died. They just say that they're dead. They don't say how or when, but I assume that we're going to find that out in the sequels.
Hopefully the sequel if they make it.
Yeah, and oh yeah, they're going to make it.
Yeah.
This weekend was crazy for Amazing Spider-Man.
And then after that, like, it flash forwards to
17-year-old Peter Parker.
So yeah, about a good couple of 10 years, maybe 10 or 11 years.
Yeah.
And you know, he's all grown up. He's in high school, and I gotta say, the only thing I don't like about him is they made him the socially awkward skater kid.
I was amazed that he even had a skateboard.
I didn't even know Peter Parker could skateboard. Who would have guessed?
Well, the thing is that I kind of understand it, because if he's going to be Spider-Man, he has to have some some experience, and not just like suddenly I know kung fu. So.
Yeah. But you know, he's a little socially awkward skater kid, which, you know, it's
who loves photography.
Yeah, a little less photography on that.
But he's not in a. I'm surprised that he wasn't into science.
Yeah.
In this film, I kind of get why. Like, he's kind of almost too lazy to get into it.
Yeah. But he is really smart.
He is really smart. He's second in his school.
Second in his class.
School.
Which, you know, compared to Tobey Maguire, that is just...
Because Tobey never brought the intelligence.
Yeah, he never brought it. He was just more like, yeah, I'm just a good face. Look at my smooth face.
Look at my smooth face. Look at me crying.
My face is pretty smooth. Look at my face. No? Such smoothing. Yes.
Okay. Nope, it's prickly.
That's because you...
because I moved up?
Yeah.
Oh. Nope, still prickly. Sorry.
Anyway, so that's cool. But yeah, what were we talking about? The social awkward skater kid. It was really cool, and then it later goes back to him with Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and he finds his father's old briefcase, and he finds all these notes and files and projects, and
in a hidden compartment.
And he traces it back. He goes to Oscorp to talk to Kirk Connors.
He sneaks into Oscorp.
Yes. And a poor intern gets booted out because of him.
Poor. Yeah, that poor guy.
And you know, when this happens, he does kind of wander off. He gets kind of nosy.
He does, because he sees on the file there's 2 O's with slashes against it. Slashes to go through. It's not like a no sign, but it's like all the way through the circle. And he sees that. He goes into the
spider chamber.
Yeah.
As I call it. I don't know if that's the actual name.
And anybody who has arachnophobia, which I don't, but I know a lot of people do, all of a sudden
The spider, like,
Spider's so dumb.
he disrupts the spiders, and they all just kind of like start pouring
on him, and he's just like,
it's like, oh god, and one of them does sneak on him, and it does bite him in the back of the neck.
Instead of like
on the hand, because if you remember in the comics and most of the show, it's always it's always on the hand.
Always on the right hand, right or left hand?
I think in Ultimate Spider-Man,
it's right.
When it was Peter Parker, it was the left hand, I think.
But in normal universe,
in most comics, it's
the right hand. I don't think there's a difference either way. They really
anyway,
care.
And the thing is, they don't say like overnight he gets the powers. It happens when he's like he passes out on the subway.
Who knows how long he was there?
Probably for like a good 20, 30 minutes.
Probably I don't know. I thought like 2 hours. He was like passed out because he went all the way to Coney Island. That's far, dude.
Oh yeah. And I think what's really funny is the scene where the homeless guy puts the beer on his forehead and he starts like spazzing out, and then like he gets on the ceiling of the subway train. And
everybody's like, so,
and then he grabs the woman like he
it's like, I'm sorry, are you okay? Because she had beer spilled on her.
And like he was trying to get off, and then like his hand gets stuck to the shirt.
Stuck to the shirt.
And then the homeless guy pushes him, and then like the shirt comes off, and you can see her pink bra. And very classy, by the way.
But I got it. PG-13, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotta have some slutty hair on there.
And in the process of this happening, you know, this guy's trying to pick a fight with him, and he's also stuck to one of the railings, one of the poles, and and his reflexes kick, and he's all like, cha. Ah.
Breaks the skateboard.
Yes.
He seems very sad.
he seems really devastated when that happens.
Yeah.
But
it's like, no, not the skateboard. Smash.
Then there is a scene. This actually was there's a clip on YouTube from Marvel of the scene, but the next day, like when he's in school, he's messing with Flash Thompson and pretty much just like toying with him with the ball. And he does by the way, he travels so much in this movie. Like, if I was a referee in basketball, I would have flagged him down so much for traveling. And he jumps and he shatters the backboard.
That's true.
That scene right there, I was like, yes.
And Uncle Ben comes to the principal's office and goes, so what was that about? He goes, well, Peter's like, well, he deserved it. Oh, so that's the guy who
decked you in the face.
Who decked you in the face and gave you that black eye and everything. So you thought yourself to make yourself equal to him by beating him, by humiliating him in front of his friends in a basketball court.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those things where
I got it. That's a very
Uncle Ben kind of becomes like I don't want to say overprotective. I don't want to say controlling.
Well, the thing is that he's right.
Yeah, he is right. Like
he is right.
Like 2 wrongs don't make a right. But,
yeah. And then he goes like, make sure you pick up your aunt.
You're on because I have to do this now.
And then he picks up Gwen Stacy, which is actually a very cute scene.
Yeah,
very awkward.
It's a very socially awkward.
It's so awkward.
And very cute scene.
He doesn't even say like, would you?
You just wanna maybe kind of, I don't know.
Well, there's this place, and she's like, yeah. Didn't even finish the sentence.
Hey Diane, would you like to maybe, I don't know, kind of, let's just say we no?
Okay.
Yes, awesome.
Pretty much. Pretty much. It's just like,
I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? And then he goes practicing.
And then he practices
on his
skateboard.
And he's like doing flips and doing all his spider
and he's
stuff.
swinging on like little chains everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to his home, and then
he forgot on May.
He forgot on May, and Uncle Ben's waiting for him, being like, "I can't believe you," and then
going like, she walked
12 blocks. Which,
yeah.
you know, for a New Yorker, that is not a very far walk.
Well, yeah, but it's also in the middle of the night. You know, we don't know what type of neighborhood.
You know what? If she was around during the time of the Son of Sam incident, I'm pretty sure she'd be fine. Okay.
True.
Okay. My grandma, God bless her soul. Throughout that time, she would walk to and from the bus stop at night with a knife in her purse. That is how a badass man was. My grandma. Sorry.
My My grandmother was in the Vietnam War, and when the bombing of Saigon happened, she was 7 months pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And trying to hide 6 other kids with her husband from the bombing. And my mom she could barely walk, and she's running from bombs. So that's how badass my grandma is.
We have some pretty badass grandmas.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, back to the whole Peter Parker. When Uncle Ben's kind of giving him this talk, Peter's like, "Where's my father? Why did he tell me this?" And he runs off.
Yeah, it's basically like if you're a good person, you do good, and it's basically this entire speech of responsibility without saying the thing.
With great power comes great
well,
responsibility.
without saying that line, but basically that's what it was.
Basically.
And Peter just kind of has an emo moment.
And he
So
he walks out
he has a daddy issue moment, basically,
yes.
and runs off.
But not without accidentally breaking the front door.
Poor guy.
I know,
And there was a scene later on where Gwen says, "Does your powers frighten you?" And he goes, "No." I think that it did originally.
I would be a little freaked out too if everything I touched broke right there.
And he, when he woke up in the morning after the train stop, he broke the
alarm clock.
He just smashed it and broke handle.
Broke the handle off the sink. Broke the door handle.
Door handles. Basically squished his
toothpaste completely out of the thing.
With just like his 2 fingers. It's just like.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, there's a moment where, like after this happens, Uncle Ben goes in search for Peter.
Yeah.
And
he goes to basically a convenience store, tries to get milk, chocolate milk, with Peter Parker, and he doesn't have 2 cents to pay for it.
Which, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, if you're ever at a convenience store in New York, please have exact change, because those guys are douchebags.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, I went to New York last Thanksgiving. I was about 10 cents short. And
they don't give you shit, dude.
Yeah, they're just like,
Dude, I go to Chinatown to go eat with my family. You have to pay rice. Rice should come with the meal. Instead, it's separate. So, yeah, we're going to buy all this stuff to eat, and we're not going to eat it with rice. And so how much is rice? $5.
Fuck that noise.
Fuck. I can buy an entire bag full of it. And sorry about that's $5 right there. I can feed my entire family for like a month.
That big right there.
Yeah. A month. $5.
And there's a scene when Peter just kind of walks away. This guy with a black star on his left wrist.
Blonde hair and sunglasses.
They don't really reveal who he is, but he's just, he's there, he knocks over something, gets the cashier distracted, he steals a bunch of money. And
then actually gives Peter the milk, throws it at him. He's like, "Here, keep that," and he just runs off. And
the convenient guy's all like, "Hey, why don't you stop him?" Peter's all like, "Not my problem.
Not my policy.
Yeah.
It's not part of my policy." And he goes off and tries to chase, and the convenience store guy tries to chase the guy. Uncle Ben bumps into him. He actually, the gun falls out.
And he's trying to, stop whatever's happening. And
yeah.
He accidentally gets shot, of course.
Oh, poor guy.
Poor
and he dies.
Poor Martin Sheen.
And he dies right there. And
so not winning.
And then Peter
really
goes over the body and just cries. And I cried. When he cried, I cried.
I cried on the inside.
Because it's Martin Sheen, man.
I know.
That should never happen.
I know.
He's badass.
Yes, you can't.
You can't kill Martin Sheen, but
And then there's a scene where the police come to let Aunt May know what happens, and then Peter keeps the police sketch of the guy.
And then they tell him that there's a
black star on his wrist.
Black star on his wrist, and then he starts.
He starts going after everyone who kind of fits that persona, just looking for that guy.
And at first he does it without a mask.
Yeah, first he does it without a mask, and then the guys are like, and one of the guys are like, "I know your face, I know who you are."
And then he starts. That's when he falls down.
That's when he gets the idea for the mask and.
Falls down on the.
At first he just has the red mask with sunglasses,
which actually looks really cool.
Looks pretty badass.
But it looks really cool actually.
Then he starts going into more depth of the costume. Like he starts looking at things, being like, expand. Like, why is everything expand?
And then he really didn't want spandex, and then he overhears like these two science geeks talking about momentum through basically out of
math and
fabrication over, if you had so little wind resistance and all that, all this works, and he goes, okay, spandex. Right. So.
And the costume, it looked pretty cool for the most part.
When I saw the trailer for this, I did not believe that costume could be homemade.
Yeah, that did not look homemade.
That did not look homemade, but they made it look like it is when they start assembling. He starts assembling the costume.
I like how he made the web shooters out of a old watch and sort of like.
Old watch. I don't know where he got the lid stuff though.
They actually they showed the scene where like
there's a steal it.
No, he actually ordered it from Oscorp. They
you
have
can
those,
do that?
Yeah, because they were saying like these are basically like little steel cables and they come 20 in a case and he orders them and he like.
I didn't know he ordered them. I thought he stole them because he had access to Oscorp.
He maybe possibly stole. I don't know. They don't only actually answer that question, so.
I don't think they did, but
But it's really cool.
Yeah, but it was really cool actually seeing him construct everything, piece everything together. I still say that costume does not look homemade at all.
I do call bullshit on that just a little bit.
Yeah, at all. And I mean, there's just way too much detail, and and also the same thing goes with the Sam Raimi version.
Oh yeah.
Impossible. I'm sorry, but I'm waiting for the day when they actually make a Spider-Man costume, which looks like you can actually home make it.
I know. We're still waiting for that, guys.
Still waiting for that. I only see cosplayers.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, then whenever he officially becomes Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a really cool moment.
Yeah.
I do like when they have him kind of talking to crap. Train of thought's being lost here.
Which one? Peter?
It's the conversation he has with Gwen's father.
Captain Stacy?
Yes, Captain Stacy, and they're at the dinner table, and
yeah.
He's all like, maybe he's just trying to do something the cops can't. It's like, whoa now.
Yeah, you're talking to a cop.
Talking to this guy.
Yeah, you're talking to
Captain, bitch.
You're talking to Dennis Leary, man, who can kill you with his teeth. And she's like, maybe he's trying to do some good, and he's doing a public service. He goes, no, someone who dresses around with wearing a mask is an outlaw.
And it's one of those moments where you're just like, you can tell right off about this guy does not like me.
Yeah.
I picked the wrong guy's daughter to date.
Oh yeah. And what's funny is that after that, Gwen and
Peter
have this moment on a balcony.
Yeah, it's on the balcony.
On the balcony, and he can't seem to say that he's Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man,
and then
he wants to tell her so bad, but he actually does. I think he's contemplating whether or not if he tells her or not.
Yeah, would he
put her in danger,
or would she get in trouble with her dad, or will she tell her dad?
It's one of those things.
Yeah, and he just couldn't do it, and she almost like gives up on him, and it's just like fine, and then Web shoots out and spins her around, hug, kiss. There she goes. It goes, you're him. No, really, but yeah, and then when the mom catches them kissing.
She's just like, awkward.
Awkward, and your dad wants you, and he goes, okay, and then Peter hears sirens, and all of a sudden the father, Captain Stacy, goes down, dresses up in uniform, goes over there,
and essentially what happens is, this is when Curt Connors becomes the Lizard the first time.
Yeah, basically.
And he is on the bridge, he is smashing things around, he is knocking cars off the bridge.
Yeah, and what I liked is that Peter was listening to the sirens, and then he jumps off the balcony, and then Gwen's like, I'm in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in trouble. Because she likes a guy who's like a dad, actually. Yeah, a cop. You never know
what's going to happen. Like, is he going to come back? Is he not going to come back?
Not going to come. He's going to die one day. And that's kind of the thing of a life with a civil servant.
Yeah. And I do like when on the bridge, like when he's trying to find out like what the hell that thing was, which was the lizard.
Yeah.
The guy's screaming like, "Help! My kid's still in the car!" And
there's this other we didn't talk about it in the non-spoiler one, but there's this evil Indian guy. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's it's like a secretary or a personal assistant.
I think he's the Oscorp assistant
for Norman Osborn. He doesn't even have a name. I just call him the evil Indian guy. And
racist.
Well, he was a really great character.
Well, it's a true statement, but
yeah, but he has no name. And he appears like 3 times in the movie, and you'd think he would have a name. But basically, he once Peter gives him the formula that his dad wrote, and finally the cross genetics thing starts working. Becomes successful. He goes, the rats have, grown their other foot. He goes, now we can go to dogs and then later chimps, and before we can even mass it out to the public. And the evil Indian guy's like, sorry, Norman Osborn is dying. We need it now, and if you don't, we'll fire you.
And it's one of the things where then that's when he tests it on himself and he gets his.
Yeah, and then he also like talks about what you did to Richard Parker, and it's so vague.
It's really vague. It leaves a lot of unanswered questions.
But I actually like that.
No,
it seems to open the door to the sequel.
Yeah, which they could probably discuss more. Which I'm honestly hoping they start incorporating Norman Osborn.
And we'll talk about
more about that in just a few moments. Hang on tight.
Once we get to the ending. So, but the evil Indian guy's like, if you don't do this to human subjects, I'm going to go to a veterans hospital and I'm going to inject it to people, and it's going to be a miracle drug, and then they're going to pay me all this crap. And Connors is like, what are you talking about? This is not ready for human testing. Need I remind you how you were back when Richard Parker was here? You were the guy who wanted results immediately, and Richard said no, just like you did. So why the change? He's just kind of like, pushing him. And then once the guy leaves, the evil Indian guy leaves, that's when Connors goes, fuck this shit. Bam! And I don't want to lose my job, basically.
So he tested on himself, and that's when. Which brings us back to when we were discussing when he gets his right arm, that moment.
And he's just like, he's crying, and it's like, oh my god, he has no fingernails, and it's really pussy.
Yeah, it's still kind of there.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's slowly still. It's mostly just fat and muscle.
Yeah, fat and muscle, but it basically was like this crocodile skin casing, and then he like peels it off and reveals the hand, and then he starts metamorphosizing
into the lizard, which
like
it was a very intense moment.
Yeah, and he heard that the evil Indian guy's got to go to the veterans hospital, and he's trying to stop that, and all of a sudden comes the lizard, and
he starts, that's when he's on the bridge, he's attacking the cars, and
tries to throw the evil Indian guy's car off the bridge, and
which is when Spider-Man enters the like, no you don't.
Yep.
And before he can find out like what it was and who was attacking everyone, this guy is screaming like, "Help! My son's still in the car!" And this is actually also like a special preview they did for YouTube on Marvel's channel.
Okay, yeah, they did.
Where like pretty much Spider-Man is trying to save the kid in the car.
And the kid's so scared of him, and he takes off his mask. Goes, no, see, regular guy. Here, why don't you take my mask? It has special powers, and I'm gonna help you get out of this.
And he does save the kid.
And he does save but the car just like suddenly combusts.
Well, so I think what happened was, it did show gasoline kind of leaking, kind of like trailing to the headlight.
Okay.
Which was busted, so that would.
Okay.
So logically, that does make sense.
I wasn't sure what that was. I thought that was drool from the.
Possibly, maybe a little bit.
It's like flammable drool.
But it was a very intense kind of like nerve-wracking
Yeah, if you
scene.
blinked, you would miss stuff.
Yeah. And then it goes slowly into the scene where.
Yeah, he saves the kid, and you'll see the father again.
The father all like happy and then it goes into like Peter going back to Dr. Connors, being like, "How do you catch a lizard?"
Yeah.
And then
How do you
like,
defeat a lizard?
and then he gets kind of like curiously like, why are
and
you
he sees
so
like this
interested?
test tube shot on his desk, and he's like, and then he kind of knows.
And then
He's
it does show a scene where
scales.
yeah, the scales. And then there's also a tiny scene where Parker's in the lab and he sees a bloody, broken little
The
cage.
lab rat
Yep.
cage,
where the lab rats were, and the rat that they did the test on
which is
turned into a lizard rat. People.
yeah, and he was
a
eating,
lizard rat.
and he ate like his best friend, Wilma.
Poor Wilma.
Poor Wilma. It's like Fred and Wilma, and Fred ate Wilma. And
Fred became Fred Savage.
I was like, whoa!
So,
And we were just like, what did he do with that rat?
I know.
Before he went off to get the lizard.
And I think that rat was smiling just a little bit, like, Wilma.
Oh no, no.
Nom nom
You
nom
want
nom nom
some?
nom.
You want some? You almost feel like you wanted to share.
That would have been really cute if the lizard did that.
Share?
Like, you want?
You want some? Wilma's good.
Anyway, and then it goes to where Peter goes to Gwen's father and tells him like, hey, you
Connors
need to
is-
get Connors. And
Connors is lizard.
Dennis Leary, he owns up to being an asshole when he goes up to being. So, do I look like the mayor of Tokyo to you? Are we after Godzilla? No.
That was a great line, actually.
And it was so funny, and I loved it. And
That was a great line. And then after they kick Peter out, he goes, give me a file on Connors. And he has to research him. He's just like, well, you know, all his other leads are dead ends. So you might as
and then
well.
it does go back into Peter going to try to capture Connors on his own.
Yeah, and he set up a lab in a studio, in a sewer.
Yeah, it was,
and he's going down to the sewer to get him. And
I love how he's playing that one Bubble Blaster game.
I love
that was kind of funny.
I love that he sees a newspaper that says any photos of the lizard or the Daily Bugle, you get a reward. So he tries to get that.
So that does leave an opening for the sequel where he might be possibly trying to get a job.
And there is actually a J. Jonah Jameson little signature on there.
Yeah.
You see it. We don't
there.
see him in the film, but you see that signature. So he does exist in this film.
Please come back to being J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons, please.
I don't know if he played it a little more serious. I would totally be with that.
I would love to see that. Honestly.
I love him in the Sam Raimi version.
Oh yeah.
But for the Amazing Spider-Man, you kind of have to do it a little more straight.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little more straight. Maybe a little more evil.
And then later, like, Connors realizes that Parker is Spider-Man,
and it's just like,
he goes back. Peter goes back to Gwen and be like, I have to stop Connors. I pretty much made him.
Yeah, pretty much, because I gave him the formula.
So he's entitled to pretty much save
everyone,
whatever he can.
And that's when Connors is like, humans are weak, and we must get rid of weakness. So what I have become is strong. So I'm going to make everybody strong.
And there is a scene before any of this all happens where Parker's in the lab with Connors, and he shows him this device which you shoot something in the air and it makes a cloud. So what he wants to do is he takes his formula, puts it in a giant vial, and his plan is to shoot it into the atmosphere and let it kind of like come down.
Make
on
all of New York into lizards, and of course Spider-Man has to stop that, but he gets stopped by the police. He actually gets held up by Captain Stacy,
yes.
and it's like, get up, and he actually like, they arrest him, like they were shooting him with electric shock.
They stunned him,
and then they handcuffed him.
And then as soon as Captain Stacy took off the mask, smack,
and then he goes, turn around, because he has the gun behind him, and he turns around and goes,
oh
Peter?
shit,
Parker? He goes, I know I have a lot to explain, but I can't.
Your daughter is in trouble. We need to save her.
We need to save her. I'm gonna put the mask back on. And he's just like, okay. And he's just like.
And then as soon as like he takes off, one of the stupid cops decides to.
Before he says, hold your fire, just
pegs him in the thigh, in his right thigh.
In his right thigh, and
which kind of screws off his balance and coordination just a little bit.
And so he has to get from one side of downtown New York to the other side, downtown New York, which is not easy.
Which is pretty far, guys. I used to live in New York, so I know what I'm talking about.
I visited there for 11 days, and New York is huge.
So huge.
He might as well have taken the subway.
Yeah.
He would have gotten.
But there's a scene
he would have gotten there faster.
Where the guy whose kid was saved by Spider-Man, he called all these guys who run cranes to kind of set up a.
It's like cranes from all these 6th Street and 14th Street. And
just pretty much
all
across, just to help get him to where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And it's so intense. It's so cool just seeing that.
I was wondering how believable that was, and
it can be filmed. What I liked is how they actually kind of incorporated like where his webs go when he swings.
Yeah, and he actually, once he sees the cranes in action, he runs, tries to run with that bad leg of his, and he shoots out his web and he misses. And he misses. You're like, oh! You're like.
And then you just kind of see like one of them just kind of rising up, being like, "We
like
got
a giant metal pipe." And he
some girders.
And he has some girders, and he's up there. Goes on that one. So I see the other one. Finally goes to Oscorp roof and tries to get the lizard.
And that's when the brawl happens,
and Captain Stacy helps him.
They use the liquid nitrogen to slow him down, and then we just see like Stacy just like popping so many bullets.
Yeah, it's like a shotgun with a sawed-off shotgun, and it's like 20 shots in this one shotgun. So he's like bang, bang.
And he's blowing off the lizard's arm, and it just keeps coming right back, and
he just keeps healing and comes back.
And then eventually he does die. The lizard takes. He's all just like
impales him.
Brutal impalement.
And Spider-Man's like climbing up, trying to climb up as fast as he can with his broken leg, trying to put the antidote, which actually Gwen did. Gwen was necessary to the plot.
Yes.
Unlike Mary Jane.
She had a motive.
She had a motive, and she was there when everybody was on Oscorp Tower. She was evacuating everyone. She had 8 minutes to make the antidote.
Which she made in time.
She made in time, and I loved when the lizard got there, like a minute before the antidote was even ready, and she's hiding in like this area, and she's holding onto that device that Connor's the cloud device, and it's so Jurassic Park. It is so Jurassic Park, and you just hear that the noises are like the raptor, and it's just like.
And then there's a moment where he does pop up, and it's
like a boo scare. And
you're just like, holy crap, ah!
Yeah, and I admit I jumped off my seat there.
I was there, I saw it.
And I was like, I was like this. But luckily I didn't scream. but I
you almost did.
I was like, but I never really screamed. I don't. I'm like, ah! But I did that, and he just grabs that device and lets Gwen go, and I was actually really amazed by that. And
there's some humanity in him for that. So.
Yeah, and she was his personal assistant, so I guess that's all he wanted, and
And basically what happens is they do get the antidote up in the air, and
he sticks it on there, and everybody who has been turned to lizards are now back to normal, and he goes down from the tower, goes to Stacy, goes to Captain Stacy, and he dies.
But before Captain Stacy dies, he has Peter promise that he will not bring Gwen into this
type of superhero
life. And it later goes to the funeral for Captain Stacy, and Gwen's all like, "Where were you? Everyone showed up, and you weren't there." And then he's telling her like, "I can't be with you. That's."
It's too hard. I can't do this anymore.
And then as she's walking away, she's like, "He made you promise, right?"
Yeah. Major promise.
And he doesn't really answer that question.
No, he doesn't, but you can tell that he was just like
that he did.
Yeah.
He pretty much did. There's no way around that actually.
And they
it goes later to the scene where he's in school.
Yeah.
Him and Flash Thompson are buddy.
Sort of.
Kind of. A little bit.
Kind of. But he was basically going like, "Hey, Peter. What's funny is that Flash is a character who has like nobody likes him in the comics.
Yeah, he was always the asshole to Peter Parker.
But he actually has personality
he does.
in this movie. Where once Uncle Ben dies, he actually taps Peter on the shoulder, and Peter's like, "Don't no, not now," and he's like, "Dude, your uncle died.
I know how you feel.
I know how you feel, man."
He actually has some
like sympathy for him,
towards him,
and he wasn't going to do anything to him. He just wanted to say he's sorry.
Yeah, because
And-
I mean, losing someone's hard enough. But
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, Flash is cool in this movie. He's not a jerk. So,
which
and,
was really great.
Yeah, and at the
It
end,
actually stayed true to the comic when he does eventually become friends with Peter Parker.
yeah, and in the end of the movie, they were kind of like, "Hey, Peter."
Hey.
Hey, it was just like, I'm not gonna bully you today. So,
And then there's
he goes to the.
he goes to his class, and then she's just all like, "Looks like we can always depend on you, Parker. So like, won't happen again. Don't make promises you can't keep."
Yeah.
And
And
then
then-
he does whisper to Gwen like, sometimes those are the best ones to make.
And then she smiles and it stops.
And
it
which then
didn't-
brings us to the secret ending.
Uh,
It shows Dr. Connors
going to jail.
and
in
it
a
does-
very dark thunder. It's like so cliche. There's like lightning outside. It's raining and everything. Dr. Connors is in a very dark cell where he can't see anyone but Dr. Connors.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, man in the shadows.
Yeah, that's what they call him in the credits.
Yeah,
Man in the shadows.
man in the shadows. And he goes, Connors.
Did you tell the boy about his parents?
Yeah, and he was like, no, don't hurt the boy. And he's just like, ha ha ha, and he just kind of disappears.
And honestly, I gotta tell you guys, that's really not a spoiler or secret ending, because if you remember in some of the trailers, like there's I think 1 or 2 trailers.
But you kind of.
Like you see that scene, but it's just an audio thing where it just, did you tell the boy about his parents?
Yeah. And
So it's not really much of a spoiler or a secret ending. It was kind of bound to happen in the movie.
But when I saw that scene, I heard William Dafoe. That sounded like William Dafoe.
It really did, guys.
And it was a totally different guy, apparently. We were looking at the credits, and his name was like Matheny, something like that. And it's some actor I do not know.
I have to Google him now.
Yeah, but
Google Maps,
it sounded just like William Dafoe, and that almost makes me want him to come back.
Yeah, it really does. Oh my god.
Yeah, and but if you couldn't have William Dafoe, who would you have as Norman Osborn?
Oh, that is a really tough one, guys.
I would love Gary Oldman.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
I would definitely. And I would love him. God, I would love Martin Sheen. No, no, it's really Uncle Ben. No,
Yeah.
no, but we haven't even seen his son.
Yeah, we have not seen Harry Osborn.
No, we haven't even seen. He's not in the movie.
I mean, chances are they might kind of incorporate him in, like, possibly in the sequel. They might bring him in.
I think it's because say something like he's in private school, gets kicked out and has to go to public school, something like that.
Because in the first movie they do say like he gets tossed out of every private school.
Yeah.
That his father puts him in.
That's why he has to go to public school, and that's how it is in the comics, I believe.
Yeah.
And so we might see Harry in the second film, and apparently Norman Osborn is dying. We don't know of what. We don't even know what he looks like, even though we see the shadowy
We
face.
see the shadowy figure.
The shadowy figure, and even at the Oscorp, it's like Norman Osborn. It's like a profile, but you don't see a face.
You really don't, guys.
You don't see a face, and I was just like, look at that nose. I wonder who that is. So, and but that's Amazing Spider-Man. I enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I was surprised how good it was,
Good job, guys.
and I will definitely be there for the sequel.
Same here.
And I'll definitely be buying the Blu-ray. So,
Yep.
Blu-ray.
And thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed this little
This very long review.
Yes.
As I do. Very
yes,
long
with our
review.
tangents and our banter.
Well, almost.
And our shenanigans.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I'm the Pop Punk Comic Geek. You can check me out on my channel. Links in the description below. Possibly, maybe.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do that.
And then,
Yay.
and then when I get home, I'll do a video.
And just link over here.
And I'll tell everyone to check out this video.
If you really want a really long review.
Yes.
So, definitely, if you ever check out my Avengers and my Dark Shadows. It's like 2 hours long.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm subscribed to her. She.
Oh really? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh.
No. Aw. But I don't know if you even heard my ones for comic books. But my very foul mouth got very bad at Catwoman #1.
Oh,
and,
I do remember.
And Red Hood and the Outlaws #1. So hopefully now with the For the Watchmen out, I hope to do a review on that with all the #1s.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do more because I did one for the Minutemen.
Minute one? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I should like it.
I loved it, honestly.
Yeah, it's very good. Of course you loved it. But
I do have Silk Spectre. I do have Night Owl.
right there.
I do need to get Ozymandias and the Comedians.
I need to get Ozymandias. That's the one I haven't done yet.
Yeah. I'm getting them for the Crimson Corsair because I've been wanting that.
It's such a boring story.
I'm a sucker for boring stories.
I don't know. It's the Crimson Corsair is in the back. Anyway, it's a tangent. Sorry. Anyway, it's in the back of the books, and it's just like. But that's how it is to me. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Sorry we rambled, but we did.
But it's fun.
But we're nerds and we love to geek out.
Indeed.
So bye.
Later.
Toodles.
Take care.
Bye.